The other day I was just checking some of the old movies which I downloaded. Okay. And, sometimes if it's a great movie, like an epic movie like Troy or Star Wars or, any good movie, you might rewatch it. Okay. So now, among the many movies, I was just checking the titles. I saw Ray Charles, that Jamie Foxx movie, Ray Charles. And I didn't actually start watching it, but I was like, oh, sheesh, this movie, where this boy loses his eyesight and his mother teaches him how to be independent, even though he's blind. She refuses to help him even if he falls down. It's a very powerful scene in that movie. I need to rewatch it. Where as he's losing his eyesight and he's walking, he falls down and he cries and say, "Mummy, help," and all that. And the mother, played by another very talented actress, when she can see him, and she's actually having tears in her eyes, and because it's her son, no? But she just bites her lip and clenches her fist, and she's like, "Yeah, get up by yourself, and don't expect me to." I'm rephrasing, but she said, "You need to take care of yourself. I'm not going to run around and take care of you." And so she doesn't bother. But yeah, obviously she's looking out for him, So the boy who plays the character of Ray Charles, what he does is wipes his tears, gets up, and then tries to figure out a way and tries to get a solution for himself. So this very attitude that the mother, or this habit the mother inculcated in the son, whereby the son has to figure out things by himself, led him to be very independent. He never wanted to take he never bothered to ask anyone for help or assistance. He would try to figure out things by himself. So he became mentally very tough. So I was just thinking, just so incredible. This guy always tried to figure out things by himself. Always wanted to be independent. And that in turn led him to learn the piano, Obviously he can't see anything, so he can't do anything. And he never wanted to, beg, because his mother taught him self-respect. And, he taught himself how to play the piano beautifully. And I was like, it just struck me. This guy, when he was, just imagine you're blind, okay? You can hear the piano. Just think your eyes are closed. You put your finger through the keyboard and you can hear a sound. And then begin to think to yourself, okay, if I press here, this sound comes. If I press there, this sound comes. And slow by slow, he started teaching himself the different notes. I'm sure there must have been a teacher or something. And even without his eyesight, he would feel his way. He would calculate the distance of the keyboard and memorize. I put here, this keyboard, this key here, this key there, this key there, this key there. And every single day, he would get up in the morning, practice the keys. And then obviously he can't see the notes. He can't see, because people who learn music have to see the notes. He couldn't see the notes. So he had to memorize each and every you know, new lesson. Memorize. Just imagine that. I don't know much about music, but I'm pretty sure there's lesson 1, 2, 3, 4. So every time he would memorize, just imagine, someone tells him once, it has to register in his head, because, obviously the person is not going to be there 24/7. The person is not going to be there every time. So the one time the person is there with him, he has to memorize. And then practice, and practice, and practice, and practice, till it becomes second nature. And then there are no distractions. There is no, other things to do. Because he's blind, he obviously wants to do this only. Maybe he'll want to get up to go to toilet. He'll go to the toilet, come back. Maybe he'd want to, he's hungry, he would eat something, but then he would come back. He would not play with his friends, because who would want to play with a blind guy? And he kept himself busy. That singularity of focus, day and night. And once he memorized different, this I'm just saying, once he memorized different songs, he would memorize. And very soon, he reached a point where, to be a jazz player, as far as I'm aware, you need to improvise. There's no fixed set. Like someone will play a music and you just have to join in and figure out what they are doing or how they are doing or which direction they're taking or the tempo or the pace. And you just join in and let it free flow, That's jazz. So he eventually became this person who could create music by himself. He didn't have to depend on anyone. He didn't have to ask anyone. And as you see the movie, you'll also realize that initially people used to take advantage of him because he was blind. Like if they would pay anybody else, I'm just saying, example, they would pay $10. I'm just assuming. They would give him less than $10, notes. And this guy, they show in the movie, one guy tries to cheat him by giving him less because he's blind, but he's able to feel the notes. He knows how much is it. And because this guy's trying to cheat him, he jumps over the table to attack him, and he doesn't want to take shit, So even though he's blind, he stands up for himself. He's a fighter, And just imagine, you and me, even though we can see, we may not have that courage, at least. I'm telling you about me, I don't know about you. I would definitely ask, maybe I'd argue, but fight, I don't think I would do that. Because my upbringing has been different, my choices in life, my habits are different. But he didn't take shit from anyone. And even contracts, where other people would try to cheat him and pay him less, he would demand for more. He was his own manager. And just imagine, he took life in, he took life in his stride and tried to make things happen. Now, just imagine, I give you an example of a real life human being. Okay, agreed, he was a legend, he was a maestro, or he was a rare human being. But, he was born normal, right? He was born like you and me. What did he have extra? In fact, he had less than you and me. But what he had less, he compensated by, things that you and I can do. Singularity of focus, the burning desire to be good. Persistence, he never gave up. Never ever gave up. Then wanting to be independent, didn't want to be a burden on anyone, didn't want to listen to anyone, didn't want to take crap from anyone. He stood up for himself. Nobody taught him this. Yes, his mother inculcated this, but once he grew up, he was not with his mother the whole time. And he became his own man. In fact, he became a legend, man. Just imagine, there are people who, have eyes and ears, and they can do far more greater things than him, but they were not able to achieve the level of success he did. Can you say it was good luck? Then if he had good luck, then why was he blind? Or was it he tried more harder than anyone else, pushed himself beyond anyone else? I was just thinking of these people who have these drawbacks, but how they use their drawbacks to their advantage. For that matter, even Stevie Wonder. Stevie Wonder was born blind. I think he was born blind. And if you don't know who is Stevie Wonder, you should do a little bit of a search online and listen to his songs. Maybe today the songs will not be of any liking to you, but those days they were like a sellout, Everybody would die to listen to their songs. I also want you to think about the fact that when they started off, there's nothing interesting about it. Just imagine you're playing a tone, ting, ting, ting. It doesn't make any sense. There is no rhythm. It's just flat, ting, tung, ting, tung, ting. And what is the glamorous thing about it? Who's paying attention? Who's encouraging him to learn more? But he would keep at it. And if you look at it from today's standards, I don't think he was asking for anybody's appreciation, like views, likes, please share, please tell others. No. He sat alone in a room, cold and dark, nobody watching, in a dark world. Nobody is listening, and he would practice again and again and again. I don't know if he had any vision for himself. I don't know if he even thought he was going to be world's best. But he just knew that this is what he wanted to do. This is how he wanted to learn and become better. And eventually, it's like he was not happy with just earning money or being the best. He pushed himself to a level that was beyond anything in the world. He pushed himself to the pursuit of being the world's best. I'm sure that he never thought, I want to be the world's best, but he was at it. So now I put the question on to you. Don't you think if you would have this kind of focus, this kind of dedication, the singularity of focus, not being distracted by other things, just in this one goal, don't you think you also could succeed? I know what you'll say, hey man, but he was blind and there was no distraction. Yeah, and do you want to be blind so as to get this? You'll say no. And then what excuse will you give for people who have hands and legs and who achieve greatness? Then what you'll say? You'll say, oh, they are talented or they are the support. See, if you have this cherry-picking attitude of giving justifiable excuses for everything, you'll never succeed in life. That is why I tell people, the daily grind. Whether you get the views, you don't get the views, whether people are praising you or not praising you, criticizing you, ignoring you, you keep at it, man. Do what needs to be done to survive and thrive, and follow what you have a burning desire for. Life is not going to give you, oh, this is my passion and this is what I enjoy doing and I'll make big money out of it. No. This guy, just think, Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder, was the playing of the piano or any musical instrument, do you think it was, oh, this is my passion or this is what I like? There was nobody watching. There was nobody there. There was nobody to encourage him. There was nobody to tell him. He had to ask. He had to maybe keep asking for a teacher or lessons or Just imagine, get up in the middle of the night and practice, daytime, afternoon, non-stop, not wanting to give up. And at no point, I'm sure, at no point did they have it in their head, and this is me assuming, oh, I'm going to be the highest paid, I'm going to be a legend, I'm going to be world famous. No, they were just committed to their craft. They just wanted to be the best of what they could do. And I think that is the secret of his greatness, Just think what I told you. A small boy can't hear anything. No, sorry, can't see anything. In a dark world. Feeling this machine, this piano, moving his fingers and listening to a sound, just listening. And then trying to figure out where to put the next finger and memorizing the distance. Okay, here, then I move here, and then I move here, and then it becomes second nature for him to know where to move. The finger will go to that exact place. And after that, memorizing different songs. And once you memorize different songs, you start developing the intelligence to, okay, this song sounded like this. Can I make my own kind of a song or sound? Then trying different, and remember, he can't write his songs. So he has to memorize and keep improving. Okay, this, that. Just imagine, I'm just giving you supposed numbers, 4, 7, 8, 3, 5. No, 5 is not good. 4, 7, 8, 3, 6. And just imagine a string of information. Suppose it's a 10-minute song or 5-minute song. And then having multiple songs in the head. I can't even fathom. But he never gave up. Singularity of focus, the drive, the persistence. And even though there was no way to measure, like we check number of views, number of likes, number of comments, encouragement, we talk to friends. He didn't have any of those things. The number of years he must have spent all alone until he achieved mastery. And after he achieved mastery, he didn't stop there. He pushed himself beyond this. Every day, maybe practice. No matter how much money, no matter how much fame, no matter how many. By the way, Ray Charles was a massive womanizer. But still, he didn't care. And he went into drugs and, he got addicted. But he came out of it. Even Jamie Foxx playing that character, the amount of discipline and, he nailed it. I think he won an Oscar for that. Not sure. You can check and let me know. So if there's one thing that I can give you in terms of value or a message, just think of Ray Charles. Think of Stevie Wonder. Compare yourself to them. And ask yourself, what can I learn from this guy? What can I do today that will make me a bit like Ray Charles or Stevie Wonder? How many hours did he practice? How many hours should I practice? Okay, he didn't have eyes. I have eyes. He didn't have money. I have little money. He didn't have friends. I have friends. He didn't have the technology that I have access to today. He didn't have the opportunities. Imagine, he was a black guy when there was apartheid and racism. He still succeeded, no? So then, after all this, and what is your excuse, I'm not asking you to become a multi-millionaire or world famous. All I'm saying is, if you use that kind of dedication and fire, don't you think you also will succeed in life? So, think what I said. Reflect. And I can assure you, you wouldn't need nobody, to pump you up or to drive you or to motivate you. You'll do it by yourself. You'll be your own man. Anyway, do watch the movie, Ray Charles. Let me know what you think of that movie. It's a great movie. By the way, I've watched it multiple number of times. Need to watch it again. So watch that movie and yeah, do a little bit of search on Ray Charles and Stevie Wonder and let me know your thoughts. Comment down below and let me know what you think. Agree, disagree. Alright? Guys, take care. Me signing off.